What's going on, group number 4? I am here today to give you guys your reading. I'm so sorry. That's such a bad intro. I'm gonna start again. So, first of all, as an Aries, I love being right. I do. I love being right. I am the epitome of I told you so. That's me. I should have a shirt that says that. And so when I read cards, when things just kind of come out, I just can't help but be like, what I say? What I say, right? What's going on, beautiful beings and conscious co-creators? Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you are here, that you decided to stop by and visit with me. Today's video is actually recorded on February 22nd, 2022. It's a lot of 2 energy, okay? And I wanted to give you guys a reading specific to that day and really utilizing this energy to kind of give you a trajectory of like maybe what you should be focusing on. So this is really just going to be what I would consider like a feel-good tarot reading, where I'm not going to be coming down on you. I'm not going to be giving you that big sis energy of like things that you need to hear, but more so just like kind of like, giving you guys some words of encouragement, some points to focus on basically. So yeah, if that's something that you feel like you need right now in your life, and everything happens for a reason. So if that was what you were drawn to and that's why you clicked on this video, even if you didn't know why you were clicking on this video, I shade of that, because like I said, everything happens for a reason. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I have 4 cards in front of you guys, so they're going to respond to the 4 groups. So group 1, group 2, group 3, and then group 4 is right here. So I need you guys to take a second, a minute, however long it takes you, whatever your process is to get prepared for these pick a card readings. By all means, pause the video and do that. I need you guys alert, zenned out. I need your egos put aside and chilling at bay. Give your ego like a little fruit juice or something and tell them to relax, because we're going to jump into it. And as always, every message that I give you guys, every message that is kind of read out on my channel is always met with the intentions of bringing you guidance, clarity, love, light, but also shadow work is so important to me. And that is something that I will always and forever preach on this channel. So even if it feels a little bit, I'm a little blunt, so if it comes out a little harsh, just know that the intention is always backed by, a genuine love and care for you as an individual and as a creator. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with group 1. But I will see groups 2, 3, and 4 at your timestamps. Those are always going to be in the description box down below. And also, if you have any other questions about how my pick a cards are ran, please take a look in the description box. I have written out a whole essay about who I am, and what I do here. And so if you're curious, go ahead and take a look. But we're going to go ahead and jump into it with group 1. All right, let's go. All right, so this is going to be the card for group 1. Those of you guys who picked this card, you picked divine timing. This card reads, everything in my life is divine timing, and all is unfolding as it should, with many exciting possibilities for tomorrow. So I want to point out to you guys that, with the spirit of 222, now is the time to start planning for things moving forward. Now is the time to really start implementing, steps so that you can start following your dreams. But specifically for you guys, this is a message to not worry so much. I feel like some of you guys may be overthinkers. Some of you guys may have a lot of air sign qualities about yourself, or you have a lot of placements that are, Geminis, Libras, or Aquarius. Okay. You guys tend to overthink and overanalyze to the point where you end up in this like analysis paralysis phase, where you want so badly to succeed. So you just think that the more you know is going to, ensure that success. And so sometimes we get so caught up in just trying to acquire the information that we never actually do the biggest part of that equation, which is action. Okay, so I want to point out not to over analyze and obsess so much with the thought processes, but more so just kind of have a little bit more faith, a faith in the process. Okay, because divine timing is coming in, and it's kind of like it should really act as a reassurance for you guys that everything that happens in your life is supposed to happen. It's supposed to be there, and if it's supposed to be there, it will be there. And yes, you want to support that faith in that belief system with action, but I don't want you guys to have this sense of fear that it's not going to work out, because it is going to work out. If it's divinely written and you're walking in alignment, it will work out. That's just how the universe flows. So what we want to do is not counteract that flow with negative thoughts, negative thinkings, processes, that just don't serve us and our greater good, but instead, remind yourself and reinforce this belief that, everything, like it's what it says right here, everything in my life is in divine timing, and everything is unfolding as it should. Meaning everything is happening the way it's supposed to. So me worrying right now is not helping. You having these anxious beliefs about, well, what if it doesn't, like, that's not serving you. And in fact, it's hindering you because it's discouraging you from continuing forward. Doubt is a manifester's killer, essentially. You can't doubt and believe. You can't do both. So we have expression, love. On the other side, we have confusion and isolation. Okay, Ashe. As I said before, the thoughts, some of you guys are carrying thoughts that are just not serving you. Okay, and it really could, in fact, be slowing down the things that you are trying to manifest, the things that you are trying to bring forth into your life. You're doing too much thinking and honestly not enough action. That's what I'm hearing for some of you guys. And so it's really just about hitting the pavement. So what if you fail? So what if you mess up? So what if you scrape your knee on the way down? The whole concept of life is about experiencing. So maybe there was something for you to experience on your way down, but that doesn't mean you have to stay down. And the fear of failure is preventing some of you guys from actually being successful. There's a quote that was told to me by, I believe my mentor told me this quote, which is, the master has failed so many times. And we don't think about that. We don't look at the fact that, this person, I wonder how many times this person messed up before they got it right. We don't look at it because it's just easier to see the success. It's easier to see the billionaire with all of their money, but we don't want to focus on the fact that this billionaire spent years or decades broke or confused or messing up. You know what I mean? The difference between that billionaire and most people is that billionaire did not give up, because giving up, that's the true failure in this. And so I want you guys to keep in mind that the negative thoughts that you're thinking about, the negative thought processes of like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't know enough, things like that, they're really just preventing you from evolving into that next you, that next phase, that next life, whatever that is. That manifestation is just over the rainbow, and you can't even get there because you can't even take your steps, because you keep telling yourself this isn't what you're supposed to be doing, when really everything is divine timing, which means you're thinking you were attracted to this idea or this goal or whatever this is that you're working towards for a reason. And the journey into alignment is not an easy one. It's going to challenge you mentally and physically. And we have to keep in mind, mentally can even be just the slightest little bit of doubt. So you guys have to get stronger in combating that doubt with positive reinforcements. I may not know all of what I'm doing, but, I have faith that it's going to work out. I have faith in the greater good. I have faith in the alignment that I'm feeling. I'm going to continue to walk through that. Okay, so stop confusing your manifestation with your doubt. This is what I'm hearing right here. Stop, and even that, start trying to find people who can help you when you're feeling that. Like, some of you guys are surrounding yourselves with people who do not know how to speak life into your dreams. They don't know how to do that. And you're telling your dreams to people who don't understand it, who are not rocking with it, who are probably speaking ill about it or thinking ill about it. All of that stuff matters. Thoughts matter. If you think something long enough, it happens. This is why I really I really, really want you guys to stop putting your business out there before it has come to pass. We need to learn to be more private about the things that we're working on. Okay, because thoughts matter. And if you get enough people thinking the same thing very strongly about what it is that you're trying to do, well, now you're just having more energy working against what it is that you're trying to do. Why would you do that? Just for attention? Because you need validation from other people to tell you that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing or you're doing the right thing? We got to get out of that. You're all the validation you need. So, learning to, discern whether or not you need to be, sharing your business with these people. I think, this isolation card is coming in and saying, please be wary of who it is that you're talking to when you're discussing your dreams and your passions, your desires, the things that you're trying to produce, because it may sound crazy to another person, but to me or someone like me or someone who vibes high, it sounds perfectly fine. So you find people who are not judgmental, people who are living in alignment. People who are living in alignment, people who live in alignment do not speak negatively on other people. We really don't. We don't have time. I need you guys to be I want you guys to really understand what I'm saying here. Who you tell your business to matters. It matters, especially in this day and age right now, like especially with these types of people and this internet energy. Be very, very wary who you tell your information to, your business, to your goals, your dreams, your relationship status, your fears. Be very, very careful. I'm not saying don't tell anybody, because we're humans. We need that interaction sometimes. But I think some of you guys need to be very, very discerning, using that third eye there to activate, to be able to sense and pick up people's energies and auras and say, you know what, that person's not here for me. And I know I gave them the title of someone that's important to me, my best friend, my man, or maybe it was a title that was given to me, mother, father, sister. None of those titles matter when it comes to energy work. That's a word. All right, so then on the other side, over here, we got expression and we got love. There's so much light. There's so much passion over here. You got emotion and you got desire all over here. That's where you need to be. That's where your focus needs to be. That's where your focus needs to be. You have earth sign that came out, child, earth sign, earth energy. And then I was going to pull out this one too. This one just needed to come out, and it's integrity. So over here, it's so interesting. You have, everything in your mind that is preventing you from experiencing all of this. And this right here is where you really want to be, where you're carefree like a child is, very childlike in nature, where you're just kind of living and you're just experiencing things. And, it's so funny. We have this concept of like, oh, stop being childish. That's so childish, and I think that there are some ways in which, there's a time and a place, but we have really, really got to start going back to that inner child nature, that innocent nature of just wanting to experience, wanting to just be happy, wanting to just, try things. Just having this carefreeness. There's something about a child that is just so refreshing, as far as like just watching them maneuver around this world, even if it's just on a playground. They're so carefree. And I know that as we get older, we begin to take on obligations. We begin to take on responsibilities. Now we have work, we have bills. I get it. And I understand that. But if you can find a way to bring that inner child, the beautiful part of that, the carefree part of that, the uninhibited part of that, if you could find a way to bring that back out when it comes to the ins and outs of your life, I wonder what that would do for your mood and your vibration. I really do. All right. So that's what I'm seeing here, with these cards right here. Again, we have love and expression, just following your heart, doing the things that make sense to you, and not worrying so much about what other people are going to have to, what other people may have to say about it, but just saying, you know what, this feels right to me. I'm going to walk in authenticity of myself is what I'm trying to say, if I could get it out. We got happiness and good luck. I'm going to pick one more for good measure, and trust. Ashe. Group one, you have so much favor and you don't even realize it. Some of you guys are not even realizing how much favor you have over your life. The mind is a very, very tricky thing to combat. And there's another saying that I used to always say, I don't say it as much, but when I was kind of newly into my own spiritual journey, I used to think about, the concept of yourself and your mind and how that's probably one of the biggest things that an individual can overcome. Some people don't really struggle with relationships. Some people don't really struggle with addiction. Some people, we all come here and we all have our own, virtues and vices that we, interact with and deal with and sometimes struggle with. But, a lot of us I can say a lot of us do relate to the concept of trying to overcome your mindset, of realizing, especially in this age of Aquarius, we're realizing we're realizing exactly to the extent of how blissful ignorance is, really. And then once you start to kind of wake up to some of the things that just don't sit well with your spirit, you begin to realize how much of your mind has been manipulated and how much you have to overcome those manipulations and those paradigms that you were told to be in, to sit in. Everything from education to health, everything from religion, spirituality. There's so many people that are finding their ways all over this place. Now, spirituality is this new trendy topic, and now you have everybody wants to be a reader. Everybody wants to do magic. Everybody wants to, be this psychic. Everybody, you know what I mean? And it's interesting. If you really start paying attention to the paradigm shift. What you have are a lot of people that go from one extreme to the other because they're really just trying to find their way. And it's like when you've been told your entire life not to do something, and as soon as you decide to give yourself permission, you just run wild. Well, that's kind of what's happening right now. And so I will say and preface, because it's sitting in my spirit to make sure you guys understand. Those of you guys who are sincere, who have integrity, which is what this card is here, which is a lot of you guys, group one. I feel like you guys are very, very kind-hearted, naturally kind-hearted people. You guys see the best in people. You guys want the best for people. You guys are probably been told you're humanitarians in some sort of way. Like you, whatever it is that you're wanting to do over here has to do with helping people. I already sensed that with you, right? And I will say that, part of playing this game called life is dealing with people that come in and they don't have the best intentions for you or for what it is that you're trying to work towards. So you're going to have to really step up your discernment and when it comes to relationships specifically. But I do want you guys to trust in the process. I want you guys to believe in the process and have faith that it will come to pass, that the things that you're feeling, the things that you know are in the cards for you, but may seem a little out of reach right now, still have that trust and that faith that it'll come to pass, that it will prosper. It's important that you believe in that. And while you're walking around and trying to be of service to people and trying to help people, and you're feeling maybe discouraged because you see all these people online who are doing this, that, and the other, and it's disingenuous, and but you may be the only one who feels that way. And I don't want you guys to let that discourage you from following through with your mission. Who cares what they're doing over there? Don't worry about what's going on over there. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on your path. Focus on your journey. Focus on your light, okay? You have favor, as I said before. There's this card of good luck is coming in and is saying, there's really nothing for you to really worry about, because, if you really started to follow into that path of alignment, things begin to really just start working out for you. They really do. But I feel like some of you guys are just kind of a little scared to take that leap of faith. And so these cards are kind of forming this little, I feel like, what is it forming? It's like this little pillow to say like, hey, it's okay. It's okay to lay your head back. Like the cards are all saying like, we got you. And by cards, I mean, spirit essentially is saying, we got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry so much about this. In fact, that's your song. Don't worry, be happy. That is your song. I love that song. When I tell you, I listen to that song at least once a week. I'm not joking. And by once a week, I mean like for a moment in time, about 30 minutes, give or take, I will have that song on repeat and I will be listening to that song. I will be chanting that. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, I'm gonna spare you the song, but I want you guys to take a second, get on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, whatever it is that you use to listen to music, and I want you to Google "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I forget the name of the person who sings the song. It's a man, and that's your song. That's what you listen to. Whenever you start to feel a little, anxious, whenever you start to feel a little like, oh, I think I'm in over my head again. What am I doing? I need you guys to take a second and play that song and just zen out. Because it's really not that serious. I know you want to do a good job here in this lifetime. Some of you guys are, I feel like you're kind of young natured. And that's probably why the child card came out. I feel like some of you guys are young spirited naturally, but you feel like you're being called to do this big job, and maybe you feel like you're not ready, you're not mature enough, or you feel like you're not feeling as capable as you should. And that's the beautiful part of the position you're in, is that what they're calling you to do, what you're feeling naturally to do, you feel like you need to be like these other people, or you need to do these things or follow these rules that some other people that have nothing to do with your mission have set forth for you to follow. And that's the reason why you're called to that. You're supposed to be that difference. You're supposed to be the thing that adds a different flavor, a different dimension, a different perspective to the scenario. So you trying to follow the rules over here when they were never meant for you in the first place, and that's why you're stuck and stagnant. Let's pull a couple more cards. Oh, and then I have charms. I forgot to mention that. I have charms. I'm so excited about these charms. So we're going to get into some charms in a second. Routine. 6th house routine. Pull one more for good measure. And the body. I will say another thing you can do is move around. I would say that, one of the biggest things that so my Aries is in my first house. My sun sign is in my first house. I'll say it like that. So basically, I feel my best when I am moving around, even if it's something like so silly as I'm gonna take a 5-minute dance break. And you guys, like, I am not a dancer. I mean, I'm not a bad dancer, but I'm not like a, put a camera up, I'm gonna teach you these moves type of dancer. But when I dance in my living room, just freely, just like moving my body to the beat and not just closing my eyes, and it's like, I don't care. I mean, nobody's in my house anyway except me and my husband, but like, if it's just me, like, whatever, just letting yourself go. Like, I challenge you guys, if you have never done that before, I challenge you guys, group 1, to do that and see what happens. See what happens. And by see what happens, I mean see how you feel. Like, do that for like 5 or 10 minutes. Just move your body. Just pick a random song, or a song that you really like, or a song that every time you hear it makes you want to move, but you tell yourself don't do that, because who does that? Like, no, do that. Be that person on the other end that's like, I do that. Play that song and just find a little safe space for you, where maybe it's in your room where nobody can see you, and just dance and see how that makes you feel. Okay? I dare you to do it. And then come back to me and tell me what happens. Tell me how you feel, And routine comes in. And really, I just want to say with this card, what I'm feeling for you guys, group 1, is start having, I would really start to look, well, I would start to seek out more of a morning routine. That's what I'm feeling from this. I feel like for some of you guys, a morning routine that involves meditation, that involves maybe a 30-minute workout, not so much for fitness as it is more for your mental, because working out is not, it's not, I know that the popular thing is to focus on, we work out so we can be fit, so we can look good, but working out on a mental level does something to your mindset. And it really can set your day. It can set the trajectory for the rest of the day. There's a reason why successful people, very, very successful people, like billionaires, okay, people like Oprah, or, well, I'm not going to start name dropping people. We'll just leave it at Oprah. But people like her, who they have morning routines, okay? And in those morning routines, there's some sort of meditation or chanting. There is some sort of intention setting, and there is some sort of fitness, workout, moving your body element to their morning routine every morning. I kid you not. I dare you to look it up. and look up what these highly successful people are saying they do in the morning. They all have a routine. It may not be the same routine, but they all have a routine. I'm actually trying to implement that myself. So that's a word for me as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. I'm going to pull some charms, and I'm so excited about this. This is the little charm bowl that I'm just going to put off to the side really quick so I can make room. We're just going to pull just a couple. All right, so what do we have here? We have, I don't know if you guys can really see these. I'll work on trying to show them clearly, but we have dream. Oh, there you go. You can see that. We have dream. We have warrior. Oh, there you go. You have warrior. I'm just pulling the words out first. And then we have faith, which we talked a lot about, having faith in the process. I mean, having faith and having trust in the process. Then we have a tree. We have a butterfly. We have a feather. We have a little girl. It kind of looks like a little child. And we have a starfish. So just off the charms that I'm seeing, you guys, well, one, I want to say, like, we talked at length about, faith and trusting in the process. But what I'm also seeing is with the butterfly, and then I see with the feather, there's a little bit of a carefree element that I think that you would really stand to benefit from having. So by carefree, I mean, not, again, we talked about this concept of challenging your mental, not overthinking so much, not overanalyzing. And I feel like they're just kind of adding layers and layers to those statements by saying, be more carefree. Think of how a butterfly just, kind of wanders. It's like the essence of a butterfly is to essentially say, like, don't be so attached. Don't be so attached to your thoughts. Don't be so, like, maybe just kind of practice letting them pass by, observing them and just letting them go. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like what a butterfly does. Like when you think about when people, even though I don't agree with this practice, but people have like butterflies in boxes and then they open them and they just release the butterflies. And the symbolism of that is like we're releasing this energy, or we're letting this energy go out into the universe, into the atmosphere. That's kind of what I want you guys to do. Not literally. Please do not capture butterflies and put them in boxes. I absolutely hate when people do that with butterflies and birds. I mean, I get that it's beautiful and the symbolism, but like, I just don't agree with capturing creatures for that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But metaphorically, yes, that's what I want you guys to do. A tree is here, and I really am picturing that tree to what I'm really seeing with that tree is that it's meant to kind of reinforce this idea that you need to be rooted in your beliefs. You need to be so rooted in your beliefs that they're unmovable, it's unshakable. Meaning, even if these feelings of doubt come in, they do nothing to actually threaten the livelihood of that tree, because that tree is so rooted in the belief that what it is that is for you is coming for you. Then we're coming back into this divine timing where it's like, even if it hasn't happened just yet, it will happen for me. I'm meant to be successful. I'm meant to be rich. I'm meant to be wealthy. I'm meant to be healthy. I'm meant to whatever. Like you have to be so convicted about those beliefs that nothing, like me, another person, we could never say anything that would cause you to feel otherwise. Like really think about that for a second. Like, let's say your favorite food is pizza, right? You like pizza. Like, this isn't a question about it. And you say, what's your favorite food? And you say pizza immediately. Like, it's not even a thought, right? But what if I tell you, no, it's not? Your favorite food's not pizza at all. number one, you're probably not even going to argue with me because it's just crazy. Yes, it is. Well, who are you to tell me what my favorite food is? That's exactly how strongly convicted I need you to be about your beliefs. Who am I to tell you what you can and cannot do? If you know that's what you're supposed to do, then it doesn't matter what I think. And I want you guys to really embrace that. Okay, don't let people come in, and don't even let yourself, because some of you don't realize when you slip into that lower vibe where that fear creeps in, you don't even realize you're doing it to yourself. Some of you, it's not even other people, it's you. You are your biggest critic, and you have to be able to check yourself when you get into that place. Okay, and again, I see the child and even the starfish, and I just think about just playing. I think about play and not taking things so seriously. So I really want you guys to begin to start finding ways to kind of just not think so much. I think I gave several tips, just dancing carefree, just like whatever. I'm just gonna dance. I'm just gonna move my body because it feels good to me. Like I want you guys to be at a place where you're able to do that. Okay, so if this reading resonated at all, group one, I am very grateful for that. And ashe to that. Thank you guys so much for watching, group one. I really appreciate you stopping by, sitting with me. I hope you were able to gain some sort of clarity or guidance. Uh, and if you were, please let me know. I would love to hear what you thought. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to your sister group, group two. But I will see you guys in my next video. Okay? Bye, guys. What's going on, group number two? This reading is for you. We are doing, like I said at the beginning, we're doing a feel good tarot reading. I don't know. I just wanted to read some cards and tell you guys some things that would be very encouraging to you. Sometimes we need that. And I really wanted to film this video on the 22nd because I wanted to kind of capture some of that energy of like, making a plan, following dreams, and kind of deciding what are we doing, because I feel like a lot of us, there's this energy of like being at a crossroads and needing to decide whether or not you're going to go left and go right. And so I wanted to bring forth a reading that would, for all intents and purposes, bring some clarity and guidance to your life. I also forgot to mention at the intro that I do have charms, so I'm going to be doing those towards the end of the reading, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We have here for you guys group two, the card is Grateful. That's the card that you selected, Grateful. And it reads, I am grateful for the abundance that surrounds my life each day in limitless ways and directions. All right, let me put my phone on silent. Okay, so grateful. Cards are immediately coming out. So let me just move my mic out the way. So yes, I am grateful for the abundance that surrounds my life each day in limitless ways. If you followed me for a while, then like that's one of my favorite words is grateful or gratitude. That's my favorite word. I can't think of a word that I love more than that. And the reason for that is because gratitude is the easiest way to raise in frequency. It is. It's not an opinion. I don't know. You could argue it is, but in my reality, it's not. It's a fact. But when I say that, I mean like I can easily go from angry, sad, hurt, mad, just down, and I can do a 3-minute gratitude session and easily jump into even if it's just like a level up of just contentment. It's so hard sometimes when you're in the throes of life and you're just dealing with something that's recently happened. It's so hard to find something to be grateful for. And I give you an example, like let's say you're in a relationship. And this person broke your heart. This person cheated on you. The easiest thing to do is to stay mad. That's the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing to do is to continue to victimize yourself when it comes to the situation. Say, well, you did this to me, and you're a bad person because of X, Y, and Z. And, it's easy to do that. It's easy to stay in those, negative places. Why? Because, well, you think about our society and where are they really kind of, teaching about high vibrational living, Like, where on social media are they doing that? At large, by the way, not these like little small places, but like I'm talking like major, like CNN, Fox News. Like, you will never see that. Why? Because it's not, you have people who are in control of certain things that do not desire for you to be in a high state, because people in high states don't really concern themselves with a lot of things that they would need you to concern yourself in, as far as, monetizing, marketing, control. It's about control. And it's hard to control someone who's living high vibrationally. It just is. Because you begin to think for yourself the higher you go. And not only do you think for yourself, but you just don't care about the things that they want you to care about. So, and that may be going down a rabbit hole that I don't want to go like at length, because then it's just going to go into straight conspiracy theories, which I am a conspiracy theorist by definition. I don't think I am, but by definition I am. Oh, yeah, my gosh. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say that you guys are very powerful beings, specifically group 2. And the card Grateful comes out because I think it's wanting you to remember what this all is. Because as powerful as you are, you suppress your own power and your skills and your abilities by staying in a low vibrational, negative, dark place. You are not tapping into your potential by staying there. So if you can practice the art of gratitude, if you can practice having gratitude sessions and finding the lesson and being grateful for the lesson in every single thing that you do and every single experience that you go through on this life journey, I wonder what that would look like for you when it's all said and done. I wonder what kind of person you would be when it's all said and done, because like I said, you are powerful in every sense of the word. And so this is a practice for you. Spirit wants you to start having gratitude sessions, because the higher you go, well, one, the easier life begins to get, because, life becomes hard when you start caring about more and more things that you're not really supposed to be caring about in the first place. You're too attached. Gratitude also helps you to keep your attachment in check if you do it right. See, but the thing is, if you stay stuck on the fact, like, let's go back to my previous example of your boyfriend cheated on you. So if you stay stuck in that place of him cheating on you and you can't believe he did this, the audacity of this man, right? And then you go and tell all your friends, he cheated on me. Oh my God, I cannot believe this. And then you tell like your coworkers, and then you tell your family, and now everybody is they're parroting what you're saying. So now your entire reality in that second and in that moment is all about the fact that this person did this to you and you can't believe it. And at what point are you ever putting yourself in a position to find a lesson in that and to hold gratitude for that person? Because when you're that angry, and when people are kind of, flaming that angry fire that you have, who's coming in to say, well, there was a lesson somewhere in there for you to learn, right? Because nothing happens for everything happens for a reason. So, there had to have been something that you learned from that experience with that person. Maybe your lesson was not to ignore red flags. Maybe your lesson was you should probably not date people who, there's something for you to learn. Now, whether you're mature enough or not to know that there's a lesson, or accept the fact that there is a lesson, that's a whole other story. But I don't think that's you guys, group 2. I think you guys are mature enough to understand that there's a lesson in everything. And your perspective will typically determine how quick that lesson comes to you. And your vibration will determine how quick that lesson comes to you. I love shuffling this deck. I'm not even trying to pick cards. I'm just shuffling. It's so soothing. Specifically this deck. So interesting. But yeah, so let's talk about some of the cards that have already came forth. First card is Crow Woman, right? And Crow Woman is coming in and it's reminding you that amidst your power, group two, there are rules. Just like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Hermetic principles, but I'm sure most of you guys have had a science class or two. And so you understand, like, Newton's law, right? And you understand that there are certain core principles that, we live by. Well, sacred law, as far as, you being a intentional creator, co-creator, co-creating with other people of like-minded energy and intention, will that exist? I would say if you have never heard of their Hermetic principles, to look those up. I find that some of you guys may actually resonate with some of that. Yeah, I think some of you guys may resonate with some of those principles. So that's homework for you guys to do, is to research that. But Crow Woman is coming in and it's kind of it's telling me that you need to kind of remember where you came from, and not as far as like this 3D plane, because by now, group two, that it's so much. It's so beyond just you are your mother's child and your dad's child. It's so much further than that, and you guys know that. We are beyond elementary here. Okay. And so now is the time for you to start investing in discovering not only your past lives, but, why it is that you came here. What did you come here for? Some of you need to be doing some soul searching. Some of you guys are very, 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 very wise individuals. And, I have this theory. It's a theory, so it's my opinion, essentially. I feel like the people who come here the wisest tend to go through the most, either in this lifetime or previous lifetimes, because we just become more and more zenned out, but we keep coming here for the experiences. So sometimes the experiences are a little more dramatic. It's like your soul keeps your soul keeps coming back here for another cycle, another round. And if you've already reached a certain place of wisdom, well, you come here and you forget, because that's how the process goes. But there's still this internal wisdom. If you've ever been called an old soul, you understand what I'm talking about, where even as you've grown up, the things that everybody else around you just wasn't as appealing to you. And the reason why is because you've already done that a handful of times. So where all the other kids are playing around with Barbies, you're reading the law of attraction, Think and Grow Rich. You're reading books on just things that are just weird, just odd. You had odd child behaviors, right? You're probably a loner. You were probably someone who just kind of stood out as like the black sheep. You didn't really do the things that everybody else was doing. Even though you didn't mean to not do that, you just kind of always stood out a little bit. Like you just weren't really interested in those things. And really, the thing is, those things don't appeal to you because you're older. You're very old. Your soul is very old. You've cycled this so many times. So, now it's like some of you guys, this lifetime is really about tapping into that other side, that behind the veil thing. That's where some of you guys are supposed to be at. But you can't do that if you're too busy focusing on the 3D bullshit that's happening. Like, he cheated on you. So what? So what? So what? That person was not even supposed to be in your life anyway. So they cheated on you. You left them alone. That was the story that happened. Close the chapter. Move on. But you allowing yourself to stay stuck in those situations, you're missing out on the time to figure out your purpose and why you're here. What is it that you keep going towards? And even tapping into this oracle side. Yemaya is she's a water Orisha. There's a lot of feminine, divine feminine energy that I feel you could stand to tap into. So then over here, we got a lot of fire energy, right? We got self destruction, and we got mother regeneration, right? And I'm looking at this as um, an awakening, but almost like a rude awakening. So, you guys have probably heard people call it a spiritual awakening, where it's really just a person kind of evolving evolving beyond their past self. So there's this person that everyone knows them to be, and then something happens, or there's this epiphany moment. There's this revolution, evolutionary child. I don't know what word I'm trying to use, but there's a point in which things just different. Food don't taste the same, colors look different, people look different to you, and you just go through radical changes. And we like to title a little bit of that as an awakening. And we put spiritual in front of it because a lot of it is kind of us removing ourselves from religious sectors or cultural identities. Like, a lot of us go through identity changes, and it's a whole new you, basically, and we call it a spiritual awakening, right? Okay, fine, we'll call it that. But yours specifically, I feel like, is a rude spiritual awakening, meaning what I'm telling you guys, some of you guys are like, yeah, but no, I'm still going to focus on the 3D bullshit, because that's just easier to go to. It's easier to reach to, or to pull from. It's harder to stay in a high vibrational space when everything around you is so negative, right? And I went through this earlier with you guys about why it's so negative. And we went through this, social media, all that stuff. We talked about that. But the thing is, you would have to make the decision to detach yourself from that, because no one else is going to do that for you, right? But it's harder to do that if all that is still something that you're like even slightly interested in. And so there's a self-control factor and that discipline factor that you haven't learned. And so, because it's already been written out for you, the longer you take, the harder that fall is going to be. And that's where I keep feeling this rude, like something is going to happen, basically. And when I say rude, I don't mean like something terrible or like something that's like, like morbid. It's not morbid, but it's something that's going to be unwanted. There's something going to happen. There will be something that happens that will change the way you look at life, but I don't think it'll be something morbid. It'll just be something that you cannot ignore. Like it's going to make you be like, you know what? I look at life differently. It'll be one of those things. And it'll be another lesson for sure. And I feel like it's going to happen sooner than later, because we do have this fire sign energy. And fire signs, we don't wait around for shit. So we got to get it going right then and there. So this energy here is saying this stuff is going to happen rapidly. You guys are going to be experiencing an awakening very rapidly. If you've already experienced an awakening, then you're going to a different place. You're going a little higher very, very quickly. Like, I'm talking within the next month or so. Probably in Aries season, because right now we're still kind of chilling in water. But things are, I'm not joking. I think it'll probably, something that's going to happen around late March, early April. That's just what I'm feeling for some of you guys, at least. But there's something that's going to be happening, but it's gonna cause you to look at life differently. You're gonna evolve from this. You're gonna be different. I'll just say it like that. But it's all in the name of, I love cards like this where they depict yin yang energy, light and dark, because I noticed that there are a lot of readers, and it's not really anything like against them, but it's so easy to focus on love and light and peace and rainbows. It's so easy to do that. When you get to like this evolved state, it's easy to stay there, but we forget about the shadow work, and we think, okay, well, everything is a part of everything, and I'm all free. I've been healed, and we just kind of continue to trek on. And that is the problem that I'm seeing in the spiritual community. That's one of the reasons why I stopped saying spiritual community, because, and I think I made a post about this where I was like, I feel like They're turning the spiritual community into church all over again. And if you grew up in the church, you know, Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, if you grew up in a church like that, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like rules. And even though they aren't really real rules, but there's still rules. And, you know, there's these things that you can do, you can't do. And it's just like all of that shit is trash. Like the whole concept of spirituality is to learn self, know thyself. How are you doing that if you're following what everyone else is saying for you to do? You're not figuring it out yourself. You're trading one religion for another. And it just is not supposed to work like that. It's just not. And I will be the only person, if I have to say that. And so, because of that, you think, well, going into the spirituality and going into this journey is just going to be love, light, and rainbows and lollipops, and everything is going to be okay. And it's like, no, that's not the point. Because okay, number one, is subjective. The point is that the experiences that you go through are not so catastrophic anymore because you remember what this all is. Now you have better equipment to handle the things that life is going to give you. So even with the blessings, even with the things that you're manifesting, you think that it'll just be all smooth sailing, and whoever is telling you that shit is lying, okay? And I would run from the hills from people who are trying to make it seem like, oh, well, you just got to get past this hump of spirituality and then you're done. No, there will always be light and dark. There will always be shadow work for you to tackle. And a lot of you guys are skipping it. You when you manifest, yes, but you still have to do the work. And the work that you're skipping is that shadow work. You're skipping the limiting belief systems. You're skipping the negative vibrations that you have. You're skipping the relationships that need to be repaired, the relationship you have with yourself. There are things that you're skipping because all you're focusing on is, well, I'll just light this candle and I'll have all this money and things will be fine. And it's just not how it works. I'm going to stop preaching. Let me grab my other deck. Don't get me to preaching. As I just got done talking about church. Oh, geez. Anyway, I just want you guys to remember that it's all in the name of balance. And you guys, especially you guys group 2, are mature enough to understand this concept, which is that you cannot have one without the other. And even if you don't want to acknowledge it, it's still there. And that's really kind of the scary part, is not acknowledging something that is right in front of your face. And as you grow and as you evolve, it doesn't mean that you are never going to hit a plateau, that you are never going to hit something tragic happening, something horrible happening, something negative happening. That's it. All it means is that you should be more skilled and prepared to take care of it. That's all it means. Peace. Talent. That's it. That's all I want to pull from that deck. Why? Well, because that's exactly what I was meditating on, was this concept of just being able to find peace with everything. That to me, I feel like is true alignment. You know, when you think about alignment, and even when you think about being enlightened, an enlightened individual, that space is. When you get to that place, you understand everything in relation to everything else. So you understand how you're connected to me and I'm connected to you. You understand how we are one. You understand what love is. You understand that love is not just this beautiful thing that you read in a fucking poem, but love also has thorns. So even like things like that, like everything that I could say about being in an enlightened space would be controversy as hell. Why? Because the more an individual talks from an enlightened perspective, the more another individual's ego is going to feel attacked, because an enlightened individual cannot speak to another individual's ego. Why? Because ego is fight or flight when you feel uncomfortable. And everything about an individual who's enlightened is going to make most people who are not even near that space uncomfortable. So you're going to have rejection. I mean, that's what happened with the individual they refer to as Jesus, which is not his real name, but whatever. Told you guys. Well, I don't know if I said that to you guys or group one, but that conspiracy stuff, man, I'm telling you. But my point, though, is even if you were to use that example or any other example of an enlightened individual, it doesn't come without controversy. Why? Because for some reason, everybody has an opinion, right? Everybody has an opinion. But most of those people with the opinions are coming from energies of fear or anger or rage. And it's like, well, if I'm at a place of peace, why would I entertain a statement from fear? You're not even speaking my language. And that's one of the things that I need you guys to start. This kind of ties back once again to what I was talking about when we were saying, okay, well, let's use the example of the boyfriend cheating on you. Okay, well, you have to keep in mind, and again, this may be something controversial, I don't care, but you have to keep in mind the people in the company that you keep, the people you entertain in the company that you keep. The person that cheated on you, well, they cheated on you because, let's just be quite honest, this is what happened. There's something about you that causes them to feel less than, lower than, because you are. You're there. That's a subconscious understanding that they really don't deserve you. And so what they will do is they will compensate by going and finding someone else that they think they're better than. In their head, they think that, and so they'll sleep with them to make themselves feel better. And then they come back to you, and everything is okay until you find out, and now you're hurt, but really, you were entertaining an individual that you were never supposed to be entertaining in the first place because that person was not equally yoked with you. That's what happened. And we can use the example of cheating, but this can be from any sort of way where there's disrespect or betrayal, whether it's a friend, a family, it doesn't matter. The point is that the person on the other end feels like they are not up to your standards of whatever it is about you. There's something about your aura that is intimidating to people who are not worthy. That's it. That's just the point of the matter. It's simple. And so there's another element to this card that I want to point out now that I'm on the subject of being equally yoked, is finding people that actually balance you out. And stop reaching for low-hanging fruit. You're reaching for low-hanging fruit that is not, it's like the epitome of like, I sat there and kind of observed that whole Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, August Alsina debacle that happened years ago. And what Jada Pinkett did with August Alsina is the epitome of reaching for the low-hanging fruit. It's no shade to August Alsina as an individual. We are where we are in our journey. Everybody is where they are in their journey. And we have to, those of us who are a little higher, we have a little bit more of a responsibility. Jada Pinkett Smith had more responsibility when it came to that union than August did. Not because of age, but because of maturity and frequency in which she vibrated at. And that's why she felt she could help. You're doing the same thing with people. You're putting yourselves in these people's lives with this expectation that you can help because you have a heart for the people, right? You feel like you can help, right? And then you end up getting screwed over and now you're mad. And you're mad at them when you should be mad at yourself. And not like, I'm saying that crassly, really to say, you had to do better. Stop giving these people so much access to you when they're not equally yoked. They're not equally balanced. They don't speak your language. They cannot help you. When you are in a bad place or you're kind of low and you're needing someone to speak life to you, these people are not able to do that. So now, number one, you have to get to a place where you're at peace yourself and you attract people who add to that peace. Not shade, provoker. I'm gonna get to this card in a second. We have Aries and we have Pisces. So first of all, as an Aries, I love being right. I do. I love being right. I am the epitome of, I told you so. That's me. I should have a shirt that says that. And so when I read cards, when things just kind of come out, I just can't help but be like, what'd I say? What I say, right? So that's what I see here, right here, where it says Aries and Pisces. Remember when I just told you, you guys are coming, you're going to be, expect a rude awakening. And by expect, I mean, don't like loathe in it, or don't like, oh my God, she said it's coming. It's nothing to be worried about. Like there's nothing to be worried about. And when you get to that frequency of peace, you will really understand what I'm talking about. And some of you guys are, not that far from it, but there's some event that's supposed to happen. It's probably going to be the catalyst that brings you up to that place of peace. But until then, what I was saying was it's probably going to happen around Aries season. That's what I said. And then the card Aries comes out. So it's like, yeah, no, I'm right. But also, I just want to point out that because we're in Pisces season, and I told you, you pulled out the emotion card, the water card, and then you pulled out Yemaya, and I was talking about divine feminine energy, right? And then we think about Pisces, and I'm telling you guys, all of this stuff is kind of coming back to this one reinforcing factor, which is that you guys are very wise, you guys are very in tune, you guys are very psychic, you guys are very powerful. I said that in the beginning, you guys are very powerful, right? And one, you guys probably do have a lot of water energy in your chart, or you guys may just outwardly be Pisces. And if so, happy birthday. But furthermore, it's so important that you guard your space. It's so important that you take yourself seriously. And that was where I was going to wait until these cards came out to talk about talent, because in my head, like, there was something that was telling me to wait to talk about this. So now I feel like, okay, this makes it easier to explain. You guys could be utilizing the things that I just kind of named off, like as far as your abilities, your psychic abilities. You can be utilizing that to actually support your lifestyle, make a living off of, essentially, because it is a talent. It's a natural talent that you have, a talent that can be used to help people. Because like I said earlier, you like to help people. The thing is, I personally think you're doing it the wrong way, and you're not really. You haven't really established the boundaries that are needed to actually start infiltrating into people's lives the way you are. So until you do that, maybe just set up an actual service where people can contact you and you can help them that way. And there's like a start time and an end time, and they pay you because, and I want to point out this too, people who have a problem paying for other people to read cards for them, or for other people to coach them or consult with them regarding their lives. That's crazy to me. That's crazy that somebody would have an issue paying, because, well, one, it is a talent. It is a skill set. I mean, there are some people who are doing this fraudulently, and the person who is seeking those services, I just think, the word of the day is discernment. You just need to start discerning who's real and who's not, who's fake and who's for real. But those who are actually sincere, well, you think about it, what is payment? Payment, money is energy. It's energy. That's all it is. It's freaking energy. And that's why we use it in spell work, because it's energy and it means something. Why? Because we made it mean something. If we didn't make it mean anything, then it would just be a piece of paper. But you know why I know that it's not just a piece of paper? Because if I take $100 bill right now and cut it up, which I have done, I've never done it on camera, but I have taken a $100 bill and cut it up. If I cut it up on camera, go live, I'm willing to bet that same $100, well, another $100, because that was going to be cut up, but I'm willing to bet there'll be at least one person on that live stream that gets mad. Why did you do that? Oh my God. You know what I could have done with $100? So it means something. It means something to people. And so to me, it's crazy, because that same person will have a problem with you charging for your services, but it's a flow of energy. And you always want to respect the flow of energy, no matter what it is. We use currency to do the flow of energy, but it could be anything. It doesn't have to be currency, but if that's what you choose for it to be, then the people that want your services have to respect that. That's it. That's a word for somebody who was considering, charging for certain services. They were maybe considering that, and they let someone tell them that not to do that or discourage them in any kind of way. Don't let anybody discourage you for charging for your time, your effort, or your energy, ever. Okay, don't ever let anybody discourage you from charging for your time, your effort, your energy, or your expertise, your talent, skills, and abilities. Don't ever let anybody tell you that. That's crazy. You pay a doctor, you pay a psychiatrist. So what that they went to school? I mean, that's great. They went to school. That's amazing. But like, that doesn't, what you're paying for is their time, their effort, their skills, and their abilities. Fundamentally, that's what you're paying for. So that should be a non-negotiable for all the authentic spiritual workers out there. That should be a non-negotiable. Don't let people make you feel like you shouldn't pay for this or that you shouldn't charge for this. Okay? Now that I'm done fussing. But yeah, I feel like some of you guys really could get into, utilizing this to help other people and actually allowing that to support your lifestyle as you continue to grow and expand so that you're not distracted with 9-to-5s and a lot of the BS that comes to with having a regular job, because some of you guys have that, but that's not in alignment. And what you're really supposed to be doing is over here making jewelry or reading cards or, reading palms or consulting with people or whatever. So I would definitely say for some of you guys, if that resonated, then that was for you. I definitely would say go for it. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull out some charms, and we're gonna end on charms. I'm so excited at my little charm thing. All right, so we're just, I'm shaking the table. Just gonna pull a little bit from the top. Okay, what do we have? I'm gonna read the plates first. We have brave. We have brave. We have family. We have sun. The sun. We have a leaf. We have a clover. We have a seahorse. We have a acorn. And then we have a really huge butterfly. All right, so those are your charms. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the nameplate. So we have brave and we have family. And both of those, I feel like, are kind of indicating what is potentially going to happen when it comes to these two cards back here that I was speaking about earlier, the self-destruction and the mother regeneration. It could be an event that actually happens within your family that causes this evolution of yourself. So, I mean, you may be very close with your family, and so there will be an event that happens in your family that causes you to kind of break out and decide to evolve. It could be in the name of protecting someone in your family too, because we have this brave nameplate here, and then we had provoker with a grand cross over here. So, and then we do have Aries over here. Aries by nature, we're naturally protective over people that we love and care about. We're pit bulls basically. And so it could be something where you are being called to protect someone that you are very close to. It could be somebody that you identify as family, or is actually where they're actually a family member, or somebody that you just are close enough to where you consider them like family. And it may cause you to need to stand up or stick up for them. So, kind of I would just say keep your eye open for something like that. I don't want you actually to be anticipating this. It's really just to kind of say if you peered into a mirror and looked forward, a few weeks, basically, if nothing changed, because, as with time and, tarot, things can change, especially if you completely change how you're behaving now, this could change. But for right now, this is what I'm seeing, is that it very much could be a family member or a close friend of yours that ends up going through something that's going to call for you to rise to a higher place and kind of become a different person, and for the sake of protecting them. I see happiness for you, though. Like I said, this isn't something morbid. I see it being something necessary and something that's going to lead to a little bit of you being more happy, a little bit of more of you being more carefree. With that luck pendant there, I was seeing, and this acorn. When I think of acorns, right, I think of like acorns falling off an acorn tree and kind of just gathering to the point where like you can literally go out there with a basket and just gather acorns, right? And I see acorn and I see the luck tree, and I kind of think of something. I kind of think of this one specific thought, which ties back to your talent card over here, which is I feel like there is a calling for you to be in the spiritual side, as far as like being a spiritual worker. I see something regarding that. Now, beautiful part about that is it's not anything specific. It's not like you're going to law school. I mean, you could be a spiritual worker and you can make meditations. You could sing, you could dance, you can make jewelry, you can make cards, you could create, beautiful things with crystals, or the sky is the limit. You can make candles and soaps. But what I do see is I see abundance when I think of acorns. And I think when I see this clover, I think of luck. And so I feel like there's a lot of favor for you over in that area, because I feel like you guys are naturally talented and people are going to be drawn to that. They're going to flock to that. Okay. And so I really want you guys to kind of look into, some of you guys kind of already been feeling this urge to take a leap of faith and do something. But maybe you're just kind of like, no, I don't know. That was a random thought. It's not a random thought. A spirit pressing on you that this is what's meant for you. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So I would say that if I am really just mirroring or parroting back what you've been feeling this whole time, I definitely would say it's not a coincidence, and to kind of follow that inclination that you are having right now. Okay. And then, we have the butterfly and the seahorse. And again, these are my interpretations, so they're going to be a little weird because I'm very weird. But when I think of seahorse, for some reason, I think of birth. I don't know why, but I just do. I think of birth. I think of pregnancy. And so I will say one of two things. You're either pregnant, you're either about to be pregnant, or this really could just be birthing the idea. It could be a metaphor, but I see something being coming to life, basically. I see something coming to life. But if it is a baby, congratulations. If I'm telling you ahead of time and you don't know, oops. And butterfly is just, I think of butterfly as a metamorphosis. So it's kind of going back to what I was talking about with the evolution. Butterfly is a beautiful symbolism. Oh my God, I can't talk. Butterflies are a great symbol for awakenings and change and transformation. And I feel like that is really what is ahead of you this year. So with that being said, group 2, if this reading resonated at any point in time, it was all over the place. So if you caught something or something was for you, ashe, I'm so grateful for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was a little long, but I hope you got something from it. Again, my goal is to always bring clarity, guidance, and maybe a little bit of laughs in there. So if that was accomplished, then ashe, I'm grateful. Thank you guys so much for watching, group 2. I'm going to go ahead and go to your sister group 3, but I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye. What's going on, group 3? I am here to give you guys your feel-good reading for the day. Well, not like I do this every day, but you get what I'm saying. But I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, the intro, that I was using charms, or at least I think I forgot. So I'm telling you now, I do have charms right over here that I am so excited about using and introducing to this channel. So yeah, I'm so excited. So anyway, we're just going to go ahead and jump into the reading. So the card that you guys selected was opportunity. Okay. And it says here, I am surrounded by limitless abundance and opportunity each day. I am surrounded by limitless abundance and opportunity each day. All right. We have some cards coming out immediately. So, I wanted to point out that this, again, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the reading, that this reading is filmed on February 22nd, 2022. Okay. It may not go up that day, but it was important that I kind of harness this energy of today to give you guys a reading capturing the essence of, the two. And the number 2 in numerology typically talks about making a plan. It typically talks about making a decision, following your dreams, following your heart, but really deciding on what it is that you're going to do. It's the epitome of being faced with a decision, and also it also talks about how do you balance everything that's going on. It kind of gives it, twos to me symbolize yin and yang, and acknowledging that there's always one half of the equation that's here, and then another half. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but basically it's yin yang energy. It's decision making, it's acknowledging light and dark, up and down. And it's also acknowledging being able to decide whether or not when to act and when to take a break, when to rest and when to take action. So, twos are filled with decision making. And so when we talk about, harnessing that energy, I feel like a lot of you guys, specifically in group 3 here, are faced with different types of opportunity. Okay. And so, you may be kind of trying to figure out what is the right path. What is it that I need to be doing right now, and wanting to get some clarity or some guidance, or even just some relief in the sense of just not knowing and wanting someone to help solve this problem or this conundrum that's going on in your head. So I'm setting the intentions to kind of bring forth some solutions for you today in this reading. So again, I'm going to read this again, and then I'm going to talk about what was pulled out. So we have opportunity, and the card again says, I am surrounded by limitless abundance and opportunity each day. Okay, so to the right of that card, we have 2 earth cards. One says failure, and one is the Crone Ascension card. And then on the left side of this deck, we have, or the left side of this card, the main card, we have a fire card, and it says completion here. And then we have a water card, basically, and it says the world. Interesting. I'm going to pull a couple more just to clear up the gap there. It says the Great Void. We have another water card that says the Great Void. So let's talk about it. Hold on. I'm going to pull one more. There we go. I want to clarify this failure card down here. So I wanted to pull out this wind realization. I wanted to pull out another card to clarify this failure. And I feel like there is more of a fear of failure and not an actual failure here. And so I want you guys to kind of give yourself permission to take the reins of what's in front of you, like take control, take the reins back and make a decision and go for it. I think some of you guys are kind of stuck here. You have a lot of opportunities, and I feel like these opportunities can be, I feel like these opportunities are pertaining to business or like a business venture, business opportunity, something that is a little different, not something that is normal. This could be an investment. The reason why I say that is because we do have a little bit of a risk factor here, and I think that you acknowledge that this is a little risky, but it can provide a bit of abundance. Really, that's the name right here. It's like this can provide a little bit of abundance, but there's a hesitation here because you don't want to mess up, or you don't want to make the wrong decision, and sometimes that can cause you to be stuck or feel like you can't really You can't decide. You're like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel confident in my decision making. And that is the problem right there, is the confidence. The lack of confidence in your decision making is preventing you from actually making the move, making the decision. And I want to kind of let you guys know that this decision, or whatever this is over here that you're needing to make your mind up about, is not going to be here very long, because I see over here we have the world and completion. We have a cycle. So right now, this cycle has an end date. There is an expiration date here. And if you don't make the decision, it's going to pass you up, and you will be kind of put back at square one. And honestly, you're going to be reliving this cycle here. I think that's something that you're trying to prevent from happening, probably because you've already been in this situation before, where you were presenting an opportunity that could potentially change your life and you said no, or you were just being a little more risk adverse. So you were like, that's not for me. And, the universe has found some way to circle back to you, a similar situation, and yet you have not moved out of this negative self-talk and this low confidence or low self-esteem, or just feeling like you can't do it. I'm wondering why, though. Like, where is this coming from? So we're just going to do a little deep dive, because unlike the other two groups, I really do want to come to a specific solution, and not just like general general ideas. I know I gave a little bit of general advice, but for you guys, I want to point out this specific problem. So what is this specific problem? Thank you. Interesting. Lots of cards are just exploding out. I'm going to take the first card on the top of this deck and combine that with this other card here. So we have this would be typically like the Six of Swords here, and then this would be the Moon card here. But this card does say intention, and I'm wondering what exactly. I wonder how do I say this? How do I say this? Okay, I'll say it like this. I feel like the reason why you are trying to do something is you're doing something for the wrong reason. You are making decisions based off of the wrong thing. And when I say wrong, I mean for you, not just in general, but as far as like what is meant for you, I feel like you're steering yourself in the wrong direction. You're not supposed to be going left, and somehow you have found yourself trekking left. That's what I mean. And so I would want you to ponder, and I can ponder with you from this end. I want you to really try to do this right now as I'm talking. I would ask yourself, is that really what I want? Or is this something that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing? And why do I feel like I'm supposed to do it? Is it because of someone else's influence? Is it because I've been told by something or someone that I'm supposed to do this? I'll give you an example, because this is what I'm feeling. There are a lot of cultures right now in the world that have a desire for their children to obtain a certain level of status or a certain level of wealth. Okay. And so, for example, like there are a lot of children, especially children from immigrants, I'm finding, who these children say, when we came to America, my parents had nothing, and they worked hard to obtain this level of where we live now. And so I was always brought up to feel like I had to become something successful so that I did not disappoint my parents. And so these kids feel this pressure to be a doctor, be a lawyer, professions that symbolize wealth or symbolize success, right? I feel like you guys kind of fit that bill. It may not be exactly that example, but I feel like you guys are feeling some sort of pressure from some outside source to be something that you really don't want to be, but it's strongly encouraged, and it's kind of almost like they're pushing you. Something is pushing you into that. Now, it may not be family. It could be your significant other, your spouse. Okay. It could be your friend group, whatever. Like, I feel like there are outside factors in your environment that are pushing you into doing something that really doesn't resonate with you. And maybe that's why this over here is happening, this hesitation here, because now that I'm coming over here and looking at the why, it's kind of like maybe you want it to fail. Maybe you want it to not prosper because you really don't want to go down that line. Maybe that doesn't sit right with your spirit, but you don't know how to speak up and say no. So you're kind of hoping that it does fail, because now you have this, maybe there's this realization here with this card, this Ace of Swords. There's this sudden understanding of like, I don't want this. So maybe I do flunk out of law school, or maybe you're trying to sabotage this because you don't really want this, and you don't know how to use your throat chakra, find your voice and speak out against it, make a stand for yourself. But I feel like there is maybe this inner conflict. It's starting to kind of come together a little bit, even with considering the great void here. Like, it's really starting to come together that, you may be finding yourself in this position that's unwanted, but you don't know how to get out. Maybe you don't want to be a disappointment to people. Maybe you do care a lot about what these people think about you. But my question to you is, can you really do both? See, I said we were going to deep dive into this and figure out what is going on here. The card you picked was opportunity. So there's some reason Spirit is needing you to remember that you have options. You don't have to go about it this way. There are more than one way to get to your destination. And I wonder if you are going about it a specific way because you are listening to other people tell you how to get to your destination instead of just following your heart. And then, all of the stuff that comes with not following your heart is a really big issue here. So my question to you is, can you get to this place, this crone ascension place? Can you get to this place where you operate in enough wisdom within yourself where you don't need someone to tell you what to do, how to get there, how to live, how to exist, what the status is symbol? What if you don't want to be wealthy? You know what I mean? Like, for you to have that pressure on you, one, it's not very fair because you're still your own independent person. So for someone else to tell you basically how you're supposed to live, coming from a higher perspective place, at what point do you begin to say, I'm my own individual creator? Because if you allow someone to live life for you and to dictate your life and predicate what you do, and if you allow that person to have that power over you, well, then what are we doing? What are we doing every single day, day in and day out? And that's probably why you're feeling this sense of like, I just need an answer. I just need someone to help. And it's like, you got to help yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. You have to help yourself. I'm going to pull a couple more cards. I don't think we're done. What's the solution? What's the solution here? Because I'm seeing intention, and I'm seeing the moon. And I'm seeing this concept of like forgiveness. So immediately, you may not have thought about it this way, but I immediately think of the saying, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And I think some of you guys can benefit from that saying. I don't know if you've ever heard that saying before, but it is a saying that basically says, again, I'll repeat it again. It says, better to ask for forgiveness. It's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And I think that the road that you're meant to be on is one that is not traditional. It's not orthodox at all. And so people are going to have some problems with that. For some reason, I feel like you come from a very strict or controlled or, very stern background as far as like your culture, your family, your identity. And on this journey, you have somehow come across a crossroads, basically, where and like you said, we're in the energy of twos as I'm recording this video. So you're needing to figure out, what exactly do I need to do? What do I want to do? Do I want to disappoint my family? Because I know that I will disappoint my family if I don't go the direction they want me to. But at the same time, I am potentially putting myself in a very unhappy place. And so you're faced with that decision, like conundrum, essentially. And so for me to ask what the solution is, and for this card to come out and it says forgiveness, one, I would say, I would say, get into the habit of, one, forgiving yourself. Because I feel like some of you guys are really beating yourselves up because maybe you don't have the courage to step out against what your family, that can be a scary thing. to be the only person in the family that goes against the grain, or to be the one person who, the one person who does, or even if there was other people who did it before you, the fact that you would have to do that for yourself, that could be a very scary, daunting experience. So the fact that maybe you haven't done it yet, I want you to be very loving to yourself still, because this is a big deal. This is your life we're talking about. And I don't know what type of background you come from, but it could have consequences, and you would need to understand that. But I would say that the reason why, when I was telling you guys earlier, this experience, like, I do believe that whatever opportunity you're facing is not going to be there for long. I do believe that, because we have the world here and we have completion here on the left side. And so I feel like this is coming towards you. Like this opportunity is not going to be here. I think it's a good opportunity. Whatever is in front of you is a good opportunity, but you're letting all the other stuff get in the way, all the other factors get in the way. So it's going to have its completion. It's going to have a cycle, an expiration date. Expiration date is going to happen. And my question is, are you going to jump on? And if not, then it's like a bus. You're probably just going to have to wait for the next one, but we don't know when the next one's going to come around. And what are you going to do in the meantime, between time? Because what you're being asked to do, or, kind of pseudo forced to do, you don't really want to do. So I need you guys to figure out, what exactly is it that you want your life to look like? Because that'll give you a better understanding of what exactly it is that you need to do. All right, what else do we have for group 3? Let's see. Healing. Ooh, look at that. You have healing. And as soon as that card came out, I looked over here again at the forgiveness card. It's gonna have to start with yourself. Despite with what your environment is saying, with your inner, like, closest ecosystem of, like, friends and family, whoever this is. I don't know what this is, but whatever this is, it may not even be family. It could be a damn cult. I don't know. It could be a religious thing. I don't know. But whatever this is, it has to start with inner healing. It has to start with yourself. You have to stop beating yourself up for being where you are, for believing in whatever you believed in, and even forgiving yourself for even questioning the things that have gotten you to this point. Because I have a feeling, for some reason, that a lot of you guys, there's this side of you that, like, maybe like secretly watches these tarot videos, right? Or there's a side of you that, no one knows about, like the spiritual side. You've been dabbling and stuff, but it's secret. It's so secret. Like, you watch this video and then you delete the history. It's like a double life almost, and you feel bad about that, but, like, you don't know any other way to exist because you're still playing both sides. It's like one foot in, one foot out. And because you acknowledge that, you're very much, like, mean to yourself sometimes. Like, you beat yourself up. And so I really would say it starts with, and then we have grieving that came off the top of this. We have grieving here. It starts with giving yourself permission to explore, to be curious. Because the question fundamentally is, who said that it was wrong to be curious? Like, I know you're going to have an answer. You're going to say, oh, well, my parents said this, or my friends say this, or, like, the answer to that, if it's coming from outside sources and not from you, that's a problem. If the reason why you're answering that is you parroting what someone else has already told you, because basically what you're saying is someone has told you how to think, and you're doing that to an environment that supports free thinking and free living. Remember, I call you guys beautiful beings and conscious co-creators. Conscious co-creators means that you are intentionally creating for yourself with other people on the same level as you. And so you cannot do that if you are in one foot in the door and one foot out. this tug of war is causing you to go crazy. So you're going to have to pick one. Grieving comes into place here. You're going to have to pick one. And you're going to have to mourn the thing that you did not pick. That's sometimes what happens when you go through a metamorphosis. You guys, I wonder, I always have this thought of like, does the butterfly ever mourn the caterpillar? I always wonder about that because, even though the butterfly has all of this new ability that the caterpillar would have never had, the caterpillar still existed, but the identity is gone, or not gone. It's morphed. I'll say it like that. It's morphed, but the identity that the caterpillar once knew, that is no longer a reality anymore because it's a butterfly. So the concept is, does the butterfly mourn the caterpillar? And I think in some ways, and in my poetic, weird, altered mind, it kind of does. Because with a new evolution comes new responsibilities. Yes, you can fly all over the place, but now you are exposed to different predators. A butterfly is exposed to different predators that a caterpillar would never be exposed to. So you can think about it that way. When you evolve past something, or when you actually decide to make that decision to take one step, either in the left direction or the right direction, you're missing out on something on the other side. Every decision has a cause and effect. It has a consequence. And so you would essentially be mourning one or the other, but bottom line is you can't stay in the middle forever. You just can't. And that's the word for you guys. And I want to point out, because I want to be very clear, either side, I do see this card coming in and saying you're not losing if you stay to the left or to the right, but you got to pick one. But I think that the card is coming in and saying there's abundance on both, but you do need to pick. Let's pull from this deck and see what we have for group 3, please. Cards don't want to go in. I'll take that one. Is there any more cards in this deck? Okay. So we have Saturn, truth, and then we have North Node, life's purpose. I love me a North Node study. Why? Because North Node really explains like why it is you're here. Which is so funny because I feel like we've been talking about this whole time. Like, what is it that you're doing? Figuring out why and not letting someone else determine that for you, but you to kind of do some digging yourself to make sure that at least if the person's telling you it, they're right. They're speaking from a place of wisdom and not a place of just trying to control you. So my question is with North Node, the North Node coming out here is, one, have you done your birth chart? Have you looked into astrology? What is your North Node? What does your North Node say about you? And how accurate do you believe that is for yourself regarding and pertaining to your life? That's homework for you guys to do. And then we have, the spirit of Saturn, the energy of Saturn, which is, honesty hour. It's about time you take accountability for the decisions that you're making. I feel like for some reason I get this feeling that a lot of you guys are just, you're accustomed to people making decisions for you. You're accustomed to people deciding, what you should and shouldn't do. And you're just like, oh, okay. You're used to doing that. And I feel like because you're used to doing it, that's probably why you're supposed to not be doing it. If that makes any sense. Like sometimes the thing that comes the easiest to us is the reason why it is the easiest is probably, I have found that oftentimes the thing that comes the easiest to us is because of what we experienced when we were in a past life and we brought those memories over to this lifetime. And so that's why, you naturally will gravitate towards this type of thing or this type of way of life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're supposed to be living. And so it's very important that you figure out what your purpose is, because your purpose could be the exact opposite. Whereas you're used to telling people you're used to people telling you how to live and who to be, what to believe in, because of something that you experienced in the past life. But this lifetime, you were maybe supposed to be the rebel in the storyline. Maybe that was your story. Maybe you're supposed to be the rebel. Maybe not, but you have to decide that. It's your job to decide that. You know what I mean? Let's pull some, let's take some charms. I'm just going to take some from the top. All right, so I like to read the nameplates first. So we have Fearless, and we have Blessed. So Blessed is coming in strongly to remind you that on either side of the equation, you have favor, that you'll be okay. It's an assurance, and it should make you feel better if anything that I've said has caused you to go into just you start sweating immediately, like, oh my God, she's asking me to do something that I've been trying to avoid my entire life. What am I going to do? Well, this card is coming in and saying, hey, you're good either way, but you do need to make a decision. And then Fearless comes in and saying, make sure you make the right decision. Don't make the decision that is the easiest. Don't make the decision that is going to cause you to, it's easy for you to continue living life, not have anything for yourself. It's easy to do that. So my question is, what does Fearless look like for you? It's an activity to really decide for yourself. Like, I literally want you guys to take a pen and paper and write down what Fearless looks like to you. What does that look like in your story of who you are? So then we have a star card. We have a star charm. We have a ballerina. I'll show you guys so you can see them. We have a star, and then we have a ballerina. And then we have what is this? What the hell is that? Is it Italy? You guys, let me know in the comment section. I do not want to spend time trying to figure out what this is. What is this, like the Leaning Tower or something? I don't know. Let me know what this is, please. If you guys can see. I don't know what that is. I think it's the Leaning Tower. I don't know. That's going to drive me crazy though. Anyway, we have a turtle. Then we have a heart that says made with love. That's what the heart says. I don't know if you guys can see it. These are kind of small. And then we have a little bird. We have a little bird charm. So you may be like, okay, so what are those things? First things first. With the star and the ballerina and even this thing here, I'm getting the sense that there's something that you want to do that has to do with being artistic in nature. It could be very literal and be dancing. Maybe you want to dance. And I feel like whatever you're trying to do is very non-traditional. So it's like kind of one of those things where it's kind of frowned on. It's something that's looked at as a hobby that maybe something that in your that's custom for your belief system or where you've come from, for it to be a hobby or something that's not taken seriously. But some people do make a living off of it, and that's something maybe you're wanting to do or looking into. But again, it's something that is not very well supported where you come from. So even though it's something that you're good at or you could really live and thrive on, it's like, no, you're still going to do this, or we want you to do that. So, if it is an artistic endeavor, there's your confirmation here in this reading to pursue it. I look at the turtle and for some reason when I look at it, I'm going to tell you what the download is that I get. Okay. I look at the turtle and I see I hear, be kind to yourself. That's what I hear. So I'm going to repeat that again for someone, because I think someone needs to hear it. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, okay? Um, the heart and the bird are I look at those and it's just like, um, take care of yourself, and make sure you're love what you do. No matter what it is that you choose, you're supposed to love what you do. And I'm speaking specifically to you guys, group 3. You're supposed to love what you do. Not everybody on this planet, not every soul that walks this earth is supposed to love what they do, but you guys are. You're supposed to love what you do. So if you don't, then I don't know how much in alignment you actually are if you do not love what you do. So if this reading at any point resonated, if I provide any clarity or guidance to you guys, Ashe, I'm grateful for that. Thank you guys so much for watching group 3. Thank you guys so much for watching group 3. I appreciate you. I'm going to go to the last group, your sister group, group 4. But I will see you guys in my next video. Okay? Bye, guys. Okay. What's going on, group 4? Welcome to your reading. I am doing feel-good readings. These readings are meant to give you guys some clarity, some insight, some guidance. As always, I have to tell you the truth about what I'm seeing. But I do hope that it reaches you well, of course. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So the card that you guys chose was Desire. Oh, okay. This card says, I live a life of desire, passion, and joy. And this is brought to my attention in many ways. I live a life of desire, passion, and joy. And this is brought to my life. No, this is brought to my attention in many ways. I put my headphones on wrong. This is bothering me. Hold on 1 second. I gotta fix it. Okay. Much better. So as I'm continuing to shuffle, I'm just gonna speak a little bit about this card. One, when I think of desire, I think of when I think of desire, sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking. I need to get a different chair. When I think of desire, I think of free, or being able to live freely. I think of people who can manifest easily. I think of people who have favor. I think of people who also, have no problems doing intentional works, like magic, or, just even working with your ancestors to render specific results. I find you guys to be very ambitious when it comes to going after the things that you want strongly, which would be desire. So I find you people to be very, you guys are willing to live very differently if it means getting to the end result. Very entrepreneurial in spirit is what I feel also from you guys. I find you guys being very much, go-getter. It's just very interesting. I'm going to pull from the bottom of the deck for the last card. So back of deck is sorceress. Yeah, what did I just say? You guys do magic. So we have the Morgan Le I can't see. Is it Faye? I was about to say Fee. It may be pronounced Fee, but I'm going to say Faye. Morgan Le Fay card, which really represents the Magician card. Shout out to Spirit for going ahead and just reiterating for me what I was picking up with this Desire card. You guys are cool. Like, I'm just getting that off the top. Like, you guys are cool. So, like, feel good tarot reading. I think it's just about me just big upping you guys. Okay, so maybe I'll just do that for a little bit. I'll just spend some time just complimenting you guys. Okay, group 4, is that all right? So anyway, um, I find you guys to be very, very I think a lot of people really admire you guys. Why? Because I think you have a tendency to make shit look easy, even though it may not be, and even though you may be suffering. You suffer behind closed doors when the lights are off, so nobody really knows what's really going on. Nobody really knows, like, what the makings of this thing is. They just see your success, or they see how easy you live, they see how freely you live, and they're just like, oh man, she's got it great, or he has it all, and they don't really see the other side, because that's the kind of the beauty of you, is you make shit look easy. But like, if a person was actually attempting to try to do what you did, it would not be a walk in the park at all. Okay, I think there's an overstanding for you about how this world works, and that's why you're able to be a master manifester. That's how you're able to create certain things to work into your favor. You can create certain spells to work into your favor, because you guys are essentially priests and priestesses by nature. It's natural. It was passed down. Especially, I'm talking to those of you guys who are what we would consider Black, okay? Not African, but I'm speaking specifically to Black people, you know what I mean? People who were direct descendants of slaves, what I'm speaking of. And the reason why I'm speaking to you guys specifically is because, for some reason, when I see these two cards together, I get this feeling of like ancestral bloodline type of stuff, where it's passed down, like like your ancestors passed down knowledge, or even if you didn't have the knowledge, it just passed down the innate ability to work with herbs, to work with fire, to work with elements, like not just fire but all elements. But fire, and when I'm speaking of candle work and root work, like I feel like you were like you find yourself naturally gravitating towards those things, and it's really because of your bloodline. Okay, so that's why I said I'm speaking specifically to Black people when I say that specific thing. But all in all, I will say that the power is on fleek in this group. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure that with desire, you understand that there is cause and effect. And I mentioned that in a couple of groups before, but you guys, I want to point it out in the sense of you remembering that every time you do something, every time you do a spell, for example, every time you make a decision based off of a card reading or card pull, you have to understand that there is an equal and opposite reaction to what you're doing. And so the way it was explained to me is like, let's say you do a cast, or you do a spell or something that causes you to win the lottery. And, let's say you win the lottery, you win big, and it's great. Well, you may have manipulated that situation to get your way, but on the other end may have been somebody who also really needed to win the lottery. And they don't get to win the lottery. Or let's say you manipulated a situation to where you were given favor over a house, and you got the house, but there could have been somebody that had, did all of these things, scrounged up all this money to try to get this house, and they just didn't get it, and I'm not saying that so that you could feel bad, but, I'll say it like this, because now that I'm like, Spirit's like, no, say it. Just you're blunt. This is why we gave you this message, so say it. So I'm gonna just say it. Don't be greedy, okay? Just don't get greedy. Life is quite a journey for people, and we all, it could be 5 of us in a room, and we will all experience life very differently. We will have 5 different explanations as to what we think life is because of our experiences. And so where there may be one person that experiences life with a lot of favor and experiences life very abundantly, and we would consider that person very blessed, there is a person that experienced life on the complete opposite side. Okay, and so I want you guys to keep in mind that there is a equal and opposite reaction for everything that you do. And it is not always about money. It's not always about, wealth. It's not always about the tangible things. Now, some of us who are still green don't realize that. And so we think, oh, money spell this, money spell that, money, 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 or, love, love, love. I'm going to make him fall. You making him fall in love with you. And this is why, I don't do love work on other people at all, because I just don't believe that a lot of the people that are asking for love work should be receiving love work. I'll say it like that. Like, that's just my personal my personal opinion on that. But I just want you guys to keep in mind that, with great power comes great responsibility. I don't know if I've said that yet, but it's true. It comes with great responsibility. And the quickest way to fall when you get that high is by just being greedy. Don't be greedy. Just don't be greedy. Figure out what it is that you truly want. And I mean, when I say truly want, I mean, like, figure out in your life, like, if money was no object to you, how would you live? How would you live your life? Because most of us don't really want a castle with a moat and crocodiles. Like, we really don't want to be a princess. Most of us just kind of want to live, in the woods, quiet. Some of us just want to have a nice house downtown. And, some of us really do want the works. But it's important that you really figure out what it is that you want when it's all said and done. If money was no object, if money was not even a thing and you could just go and pick a life, what does that look like? And then ask yourself, why do I feel like this is my life that I want? Because it really needs to resonate with your spirit, okay? You'd be surprised what you really think about when we're not operating into greed, when we're not operating from a place of, just trying to survive to the max. Like, I just really need all this stuff to work out for me. Why? Because I just need to. Or a place of, oh, I was broke before, I'll never be broke again. So now I need a cajillion amount of, no, you don't. You don't need that. You don't need that. So it's very important to make sure you keep yourself in check when it comes to desire and getting greedy and overindulging. Okay. I think that's a 7 deadly sins, actually. I don't know. I'm a heathen, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, I do want to say, though, in all seriousness, please watch out for, and again, this is no judgment. I don't judge. I don't really think you can be a reader and judge people. It doesn't really go together, because you're really reading people's lives. So I'm going to just say it transparently, though, because Spirit, I just have to say it the way it was told, which is don't get greedy. Here we go right here. Compassion. Card just comes out the wazoo. So again, reinforcing, collaboration. As you get bigger, it's not the favor that you have is not specifically for you. You're supposed to be helping people. And so when you get to this point, I know you've seen movies like this where the person gets to this place where they have millions and billions of dollars and they forget to give back. And maybe that was a requirement from Spirit, was that you give back, and you never found time to go and give back. So it was snatched away, because as quickly as you give, it's as quickly as it can be taken away. So what you don't want to do is upset your guides, because they will teach your ass a lesson. So I'm kind of like giving you a little bit of a warning, even though this is supposed to be a feel good, but Spirit moves the way they want to move, child. So look, just take it how I'm giving it to you. As you gain favor, don't forget to give back. Okay. I talked a little bit about, I think that was in group 3. I talked a little bit about energy and how energy flows. And I talked about how currency is energy. Money is energy. This is, and this probably because you're a worker. You guys, Sorcerer right here. So you guys probably do work of some sort. And so you already probably understand that money is an energy, and this is why we use money in spell work. We burn money. We put money in jars. We bury money. It's all kinds of stuff we do with money, right? Okay. So when it comes to the flow of energy, as you receive abundance, you give abundantly. Okay? That's a word for somebody. Do not forget that part. As you receive abundance, you give abundantly. Meaning, as things are pouring into your life, do not forget to give back. Do not forget that part. Because when you start to purposely decide not to do, you're getting greedy. It has to flow. Okay, so don't forget that part. It's easy to forget that part. It is. But no, that's not it. But on the other end of that, like, yeah, I see you guys living life nicely. I see things getting better for you. If you're hitting a little dry spot right now, I see life kind of working out a little better for you soon. Whoa. Let me pick up that. This card went flying out. Strength comes out. Spirit guide comes out. Yeah, didn't I say your spirit guides are gonna whoop your ass if you start getting greedy over here and not sharing what has been given to you. You're supposed. I think a lot of you guys are you entered this life in the soul contract with the understanding that, you know, as you are given or as you are receiving, you would give back. Some of you are going to be in positions of influence, and so it's really important that you operate in integrity when it comes to that. And oh wow, I didn't even look over here. White buffalo calf woman. Wow. I didn't even see this card over here, which is really sad. But first of all, this is a card that there's a Leo sign here, so it's a Leo energy. I always say Leos make the best influencers. That's my opinion. Leos are the best for being on camera. They love the attention, and rightfully so. They should have the attention because they are fun. They're fun to watch. They're fun to hang out with. They're a good time. And people like watching people, you know, have a good time. It does something to the spirit, like to see other people who, you know, it works. It works out. And as I said, you guys are I feel like you guys have the ability to be really good influencers. Not even like on a YouTube type of shit or anything, but I'm talking like even like on actual TV. Like I could see you guys being influential like that. And I do feel like, again, I'm going back to talking to Black people right now. Bloodline. I just keep hearing bloodline. I just keep hearing it's in your bloodline. It is your birthright to have this favor. But again, you cannot forget to give back. And so spirit guides are here. I definitely don't want you guys to be ignoring your spirit guides, because I feel like some of you guys have been kind of already been told, hey, you should probably donate this item, or you should probably give that person some money, and you have went and decided, you know what, I'm not giving them money because I don't know what they're going to do with the money, and you've found a way to justify in your head ignoring what your spirit guides are saying. And I am going to tell you now, don't do that. It is not your business what that person does with the money. All you're supposed to be doing is continuing the flow of energy. Okay? Don't judge. Just if you feel it in your spirit to give, or to donate, or to help even, then follow your spirit. Don't ignore, because I feel like some of you guys are on the precipice of being in trouble, like getting in trouble with your guides. I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna pick one more card. I'm gonna pull one more card. I feel like there's another card in here for you guys. What's the other card for group 4? There's one more card I feel in this group. I'm going to take the first one on the top. Okay, fine. I'll take that one too. We have blessings and life purpose. Life purpose was like, no, you about to see me. No, I'm not going back in the pile. I need to be out on the table for group 4. So we have blessings and life purpose. Pretty self-explanatory, but I'll elaborate a little bit. Blessings comes out, and as I said, I feel like you guys have favor. And if you haven't really tapped into that, because some of you guys may be like, well, what is she talking about? I ain't no money, right? Like I could see someone saying that, like, what the hell is she talking about? I don't have no money. I just feel like it hasn't really unlocked for you. It's in your vortex, like you just haven't manifested it yet. And that is in large part more to do with you and where you are, and not so much about what I'm saying, because you have the access is there. It's kind of like It's kind of like everything that you want is in a storage unit. You just need to focus on finding the key. And you go to the storage unit and unlock everything. Everything in there is yours. It's literally that. It's literally that. Or like Harry Potter. Oh my God, Harry Potter is such a better example. I'm going to use Harry Potter. Excuse me real quick while I fangirl. So like, remember in Harry Potter Sorcerer's Stone, right? When Hagrid was taking Harry to Gringotts, the bank. And he opens and like the little goblin goes and takes him to Harry's bank, his physical bank account, right? Goes into the like chamber, and Hagrid walks in with Harry, and Harry's like, he's looking all around, and there's all of these coins, all these gold coins all over the place, like to the ceiling, gold coins. I mean, Harry was rich, right? And Harry's like, what is this? And basically Hagrid's like, this is all yours. You didn't think your parents left you with nothing, right? That is you. You're Harry. You don't know. You didn't even know this existed because you didn't have access to it. And so I'm the one telling you, hey, there's a bank with a bunch of money in it, metaphorically, of course, but there's a bank with a bunch of money in it. It's yours. You gotta align yourself the way you need to get access to it. Harry aligned himself with Hagrid. If you remember in the movie, he chose to go with Hagrid. He followed his intuition. I know it's a movie, but play along with me. He followed his intuition and went with Hagrid, and Hagrid changed his freaking life. So my question to you is, how are you going to align yourself to get what is your birthright? So that's what I have to say about blessings. And then life purpose, as I said before, some of you guys I feel like are meant to be influencers, and that's probably why money is going to come easily to you, or it already has come easily to you. Not to mention the work that you do spiritually, of course. But I think it's all for the bigger purpose. Like there's something that you're supposed to be doing to where Spirit is saying, well, we don't want you to have to fret over money. So money is not the problem here. Something else is. So it's something that you're not really doing, or something that you need to kind of go back and sit and figure out, like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing here? What is my life's purpose? All right, so we got some Virgo energy over here, okay? And we got some 12th house. Wow, 12th house energy. Okay, wait, I'm gonna pull this one on the top. And some Scorpio energy. We love a good Scorpio, don't we? I'm sorry. I'm a Scorpio ascending, ascendant. So, I just feel like people, when they meet me, they think I'm a Scorpio. They do. They really do. I mean, I think that's the whole point of a rising sign, but I'm so far from Scorpio. But like, if you meet me, I very much give Scorpio, because I'm observing everything before I open my mouth. But anyway, let me stop talking about me. All right, so Virgo energy right here. It says, I analyze, right? And I want to say, now would be a good opportunity. Again, we're doing a feel-good tarot reading, right? Now would be a good opportunity to take some time to sit with yourself. Spend a week. I would say spend a week. No TV, no social media, just you, yourself, and a pen and a paper, and just write. And see what happens. Ooh, let's do that. Let me know if you do that, for real. Let me know if you do that. Because I'm curious to see what would happen to you. Like as far as like your mind. Because I think some of you guys have the money and you don't really know exactly how you're supposed to be channeling that. And some of you have the purpose, but you're not really channeling the money that's going to give you the freedom to focus on the purpose, because whatever the purpose is, that's not really how you're going to make your money. I'll say it like that, and I'll say it again. Whatever your life purpose is not supposed to be your money maker. You're supposed to be making money. You're supposed to be making money doing something else over here. And make sure my hands are in frame so you can see what I'm doing. So over here is the setup for your money. So your money is cranking out over here. So you're not worried about money while you do this over here. So I give you an example. You make your money from buying a bunch of rental properties, and these rental properties bring you in money every single month. And so let's say these rental properties are bringing you $50,000 a month, every month. That's what they're doing over here. Most people could live off of 50,000 a month. That's very reasonable for most people. And so while you're over here making 50K a month for living and stuff, now you can focus on, building houses in, I don't know, Chile or something. I don't know, Ecuador, whatever. Or maybe feeding the homeless, maybe starting a nonprofit organization where you help homeless teenagers. I don't know. There's something over here that you're supposed to be doing that is not going to be derived from making money. It's just a passion. It's something that you're supposed to be doing. So that's the best example I can give you guys. So if that resonated, then that was for you, okay? But I really want to caution you guys to not let what's going on over here with the money and the freedom that comes with it, do not let that get to your head, because some of you can get just a little too cocky with, the access that you have. You get a little too flashy. Leos are kind of flashy sometimes. So I'm just playing. I love my Leos. I'm just playing. I'm not. But anyway, I really just want to, kind of point out, like, there does need to be some growth that happens, with you guys. So, yeah, don't skip over that. Okay. I'm going to pull some charms, just a couple from the top for good measure, but I'm going to mix them around. All right. 1, 2, 3, pull. All right, let's see what we have here. I'm going to read the nameplates first. We have believe. Is that backwards? No, that's not. And we have believe. We have love with a little hole in the middle. We have the Eye of Horus, which is interesting. Again, now I'm talking back to the Black people and ancient Kemet, which is, an extension of where you come from, believe it or not. Eye of Horus is your third eye, and that's the pineal gland. You need to open up your third eye is essentially what that is even saying. I don't even want to finish reading these charms. I'm going to go back to them, but give me a second because I want to get this out. Very, 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 very important that you practice waking up your third eye, opening your third eye chakra. Important. Please don't skip that. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please take a second to watch some Ralph Smart. Everybody needs some Ralph Smart in their life. He talks extensively about third eye, how to open your third eye, how to even tell if it's open. I think all of his videos regarding that topic are gold. And so I would definitely suggest you take a second to do that. But what I was saying in short is definitely want to start meditating, definitely want to start setting the intentions to open up your third eye. You may get some ringing, you may start getting headaches. But again, I definitely would say just watch his video. He kind of does it more professionally than me, just speaking off the top of his head. But I definitely think that he encaptures a better example, or not example, but an understanding of the third eye and how to open it. But you guys are meant to do that. And so that's something that, Spirit definitely wants to give you guys to kind of look into. I'm filled with homework for all 4 of these groups. We have a key here. It's a little key. We have a rose. Oh, it's this way. We have a messenger bird. It's giving Noah's Ark. Okay. With the pigeon and the twig. If you guys know the story of Noah's Ark, then you get it. Those who don't know, I'm just playing. But you guys know, I'm pretty sure you guys know the story of Noah's Ark with the pigeon and sending them out to find, trace of, land, or that the earth's not completely flooded anymore. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, and then we have 2 keys. We have a silver key and a bronze key, or a gold key. And so I want to point out keys because, I made this point earlier to say, it's like giving you an example of like, what's for you being in a vortex, or giving you the example of like what's for you being in a storage unit, and all you need to do is, is find the frequency of where the key is to get to the storage unit. And it's so funny that you get 2 keys here. So some of you guys are really, I feel like this is a reiteration of like, okay, no, seriously, you need to hear what I'm saying. So I'm going to reiterate it. If you have not unlocked the abundance that is for you, that has already been written for you, it is designed, it is there. If you've not unlocked it, it's simple, but it's not. But basically, you need to raise in frequency to where you're speaking as if it already exists. It's already here. Your house is here. Your car is here. The money is here. You need to start speaking and acting as such, because the universe cannot tell the difference between fiction and reality. It's just what you say and the energy that you possess. So I need you to put your acting hats on, and I need you to literally walk around as if you were the Queen of Sheba. Queen of Sheba or Queen Sheba? I don't know, one of those. But basically, you need to be, you need to act, fake it until you make it, basically. But no, in all seriousness, the keys are representing to me this emphasis for you guys, that those of you guys who don't have it yet, it's there, and it's literally just a frequency away. And so if you don't understand about like the concept of vibration and frequency, I would start to listen to Abraham Hicks. That's what I would suggest. And so, yeah, that's what I see here. And what was I just lost my train of thought. The pendants, the name pendants, we had believe in love earlier. And I see those kind of coming in and telling you guys that, one, if you don't have it, it's that the belief is so mandatory. You have to know it's there. You have to. If you doubt it's there, you're slowing the ability for it to show up. Okay. And I know you guys have seen a lot of people talk about manifestation. And I want to say that the concept and art of manifestation is very real. It's very real. Now, I can't speak to what everyone else is saying about it, but from my own personal experience, it's very real. But it requires 100%, 100,000%. It requires belief. It requires faith. It does require desire. I'm speaking to just a few of you guys within this group that you may have some issues with that, because like I said, I feel like you guys already get that part. Like you're already there. Like I'm speaking to like that 1 or 2 people that's really not supposed to be in this class, but somehow pick this class. like most of you guys already get there. You're like, I already know this stuff. I got it. I'm good. But I just want to reiterate that for some of you guys that, belief is a requirement. Third eye, I really just want to point out, that's the biggest one that stands out to me. Group 4 is the third eye shock. The third eye, the eye of Horus, is opening that pineal gland and increasing your psychic abilities, so that you can, make sure that you are fully connected to your spirit guides, where you can hear them, you can hear the downloads, you can hear the instructions, you can receive the advice, and you can align yourself with the life purpose that you're supposed to have. Okay. I also want to point out really quickly, this card comes in and I see it as being just essentially a messenger. There's a message for you, something that you may need to meditate for. I think your spirit guides are actually trying to contact you. So definitely opening up yourself to receive that would definitely benefit you guys. If this reading in any way resonated with you, if you received any kind of clarity or guidance from the words that were spoken today over your group, then Ashe, I'm grateful for that. Thank you guys so much for watching Group 4. I so appreciate every single one of you guys. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, but I will see you guys in my next video. Okay? Bye.